Okay, let's dive into this recent data glitch over at the real estate giant Redfin. Now, on the surface, it looks like just a small technical error. But when you look at when it happened, right in the middle of a massive corporate transformation, well, that's when the story gets really compelling.
So you know how it goes, right? You're scrolling through listings, maybe looking for a new apartment. You find one you like, you punch in your name, your email, your phone number. But have you ever really stopped and wondered, where does that data actually go the second you hit submit?
Well, it turns out for a little while at Redfin, a technical glitch meant some of that info was popping up for complete strangers. Yeah, so let's break down exactly how this happened.
All right, so what exactly went wrong here? Now, this wasn't some huge, crazy hack from a shadowy group of cybercriminals, nothing like that. It was actually a lot simpler. But, when it comes to your personal data, even the smallest glitch can be a pretty big deal.
So what kind of info are we talking about? Well, it was the basics: names, phone numbers, and email addresses. The kind of stuff you'd give to a real estate agent anyway. But the key difference, of course, is you want to be the one deciding who gets it.
Okay, so here's how the glitch actually worked. It's surprisingly simple. Imagine this. You're user A. You find a rental you like, and you fill out the contact form. Easy enough. Now, a little later, user B comes along, browsing the site. A contact form pops up for them, but for just a split second, it's your info, your name, your number, that auto-fills their form. Whoops.
And here's where it gets a little techie, but it's super important. For most people, this info would have just flashed on the screen for a millisecond and then vanished. Poof, gone. But, and this is a big but, for a small number of people who browse the web with JavaScript turned off, and some people do that for security reasons, that data didn't disappear. It just sat there, right on the screen, plain as day.
Okay, so a glitch happened. That's one thing. But what often tells you more about a company is how they respond to it. So what did Redfin do?
Well, here's an interesting twist. Redfin didn't actually find this bug themselves. It was journalists from The Intercept who stumbled upon it while they were working on a completely different story. They're the ones who flagged it.
Redfin's response was pretty straightforward. A spokesperson said, and I'm quoting here, "This error was active for less than a week and was remediated as soon as we were made aware of it. So the official word is, we heard about it, we fixed it, fast."
So let's break that down. Key points. They're calling it a technical error, not a breach. They stress it was active for less than a week, and the fix was pushed out to both desktop and mobile. But there's one thing they wouldn't say. They declined to specify just how many people were actually affected.
And this, right here, is where the story gets so much bigger than just a simple glitch. You see, to really get what's going on, we have to zoom out. Because this didn't just happen on a random Tuesday. It happened smack in the middle of one of the wildest, most transformative years in the company's entire history. I mean, look at this. 2025 has been an absolute whirlwind for them. They start the year partnering with their biggest rival, Zillow. Then, they get bought out in a massive acquisition by rocket companies. Then, they completely change how their agents get paid. And then, bam, right in the middle of all this chaos, this data glitch happens.
And when I say massive acquisition, I mean massive. We're talking $1.75 billion. That's a deal that is fundamentally set to change the entire game for online real estate.
So why drop that kind of cash? Well, Rocket's CEO put it this way. He wants to create an end-to-end integration to housing at a scale the industry has never seen. What does it actually mean? It means they want to own the entire process, from the first click when you're just browsing to getting your mortgage to the moment they hand you the keys, the whole shebang.
And this isn't just stuff happening in the boardroom. It's affecting everyone. They rolled out this new program, Redfin Next, and it's already boosted agent pay by an average of 14%. So you see, this isn't just a simple merger. The whole company is basically being rebuilt from the ground up, and they're doing it at lightning speed.
Okay, so let's put it all together. You've got this tiny, temporary data glitch on one hand, and this absolutely colossal corporate reinvention on the other. What's the connection? What's the bigger picture here?
This really sums it up perfectly, doesn't it? It's like two different worlds. In one column, you've got the immediate challenge, a technical error, a data leak that needs a quick fix. And in the other column, you have the ambition, this massive, world-changing goal to integrate the entire housing market. The scale is just wildly different. So what are the big takeaways here? Okay, first, a technical glitch did expose some user data for a little bit. Second, Redfin insists it was isolated and they patched it up right away. Third, and this is key, this whole thing went down during a period of just insane transformation for Redfin. And finally, the company is laser-focused on this massive integration with Rocket. It's a lot to juggle.
And that leaves us with a really big question, doesn't it? As Redfin and Rocket move forward with building this Goliath of a system that's designed to handle all of our most sensitive financial information, how important, how absolutely critical is our trust? Because look, you can patch a small software glitch. That's easy. But patching a crack in the foundation of user trust, that's a whole lot harder to fix, especially when you're trying to build a skyscraper.